think we've got a couple of options right now. Option one, I can do blood work and, look at her white blood cell count and, those internal organs, see if we've got signs of, an overwhelming infection, things like that. Look at liver and kidneys and go from there. We can certainly do that. And is that a good idea? Yep, absolutely. Option two, sometimes people say, I don't want to spend $250 on blood work.
That's how much that costs?
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
And sometimes people say, I want to go, I don't want to do blood. I want to hit her with, a couple of good antibiotics. If I put her on the 2 antibiotics that I think is going to give us the best chance at getting in front of this so that she can go on and be normal, you're going to have to bottle feed those babies. They can't go back on her. And honestly, that's going to be my recommendation. Even if we didn't do those antibiotics because of that mastitis, she's going to have to dry up in there to help us get rid of this infection. But I know that's a big undertaking then for you to now have babies that you're going to have to bottle feed. If you tell me absolutely not, I have not taken babies off of her, I'll do an antibiotic and I'll do the safest one I can for babies still being there, but I will not be able to give her.
But that one you said that for sure, like, knock that stuff
out. It is our best chance at that. Yes.
Darn. So my thing is with the bottle feeding is you got to be careful how. Because y'all gave me syringes. You got to be careful how you squirt that stuff down there because you don't want to get in their lungs, right?
Yes, correct. Now, you can get, like actual little puppy bottles, at Tractor Supply or Rural King or something, with a little nipple so they suck to get it out so you're less likely, to get it down in there unless you make the hole too big on the bottle. Because I've seen people make that hole way too big on that nipple, where you tilt it upside down and it's just running out. What's going to do that in their lungs, too? But if you put just a little tiny pinprick kind of hole in there so puppy has to actively suck to get it out, then there's less chance of that happening.
So what would you suggest that I would use for that hole?
A lot of people take just like a little needle or something, a little safety pin kind of thing. We might have some out here. I'd have to look. A safety pin, like that kind of size, and just poke a little hole in the tip of it like that.
How much that milk is out there?
I have to double check for you.
Okay.
So do you want me to get you a price on the antibiotics and the Rimadyl, and assuming then that if you're going to bottle feed that with those antibiotics? Yeah. Okay, all right. And the other thing I was just going to mention to you, since, if we go the route of doing those best antibiotics and pulling puppies off of her, there are a lot of people, I have no medicine to say that this should work, okay? But there are a lot of people that they've done research on that say if you take cabbage leaves and pack them around those teats, around those nipples, and change them out every couple of hours, it will help that milk dry out and help with the swelling and can be very helpful. So you could also do something like that. Like a head of cabbage from Walmart.
Oh, cabbage leaves.
Yeah, cabbage leaves. Literally cabbage leaves, and just put them on there and change them out every couple of hours. A lot of people swear by it. Okay.
So just lay them on there. On the
Yep, I've seen people who, when their dog has mastitis and we're trying to get them to dry up and finish healing, they literally almost just like set all of them down and then put like a little t-shirt or something over top of this to keep them, in place. And like I said, I have no medical reason for why that should work, but it works in people too. They use it a lot. So, that is something else that you could do that would be pretty inexpensive, to buy a head of cabbage at Food Line or something.
So do you think with her telling me to give her the dog the half capsule of the antibiotic may be harmful?
No, that antibiotic was okay for puppies still too. Okay, and I don't think it did anything to hurt her. I think that with her temperature still being 103.3, even though she had Rimadyl this morning, I think she needs to, we're going to have to try to get in front of this, because if we can't get in front of this infection fast enough, infections can be deadly. I mean, just like for a person.
Right. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me get some prices for you real quick, okay?
Okay. Do you think she need like any steroids or any?
I don't want to do steroids because of her fever and the swollen teats. I think that that's going to make the infection far worse.
Oh,
but we
okay.
would do more of the Rimadyl, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory that won't make infections worse and will keep bringing temperature down.
So I got a question. It's kind of hard for her to take the medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So I crushed it up earlier.
Okay.
And put it down in her mouth. Is that the same effect?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, we'll be right back, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, you guys. How everybody doing? I had some hood get well soon, Poochie. So let me tell y'all, I don't know if y'all heard it or not, but look, let me tell y'all something. Well, I'm gonna turn the phone around like this. I'm gonna set y'all up here like this so y'all can see me clear, cause my phone blew. So boom. Last night I noticed Poochie's nipples are swell. Teats, they call them teats. Her teats was swell. Like I'm talking about swell, look like it got golf balls in them, like tumor. So I called the emergency line because we still on the emergency line from where she, whelping and stuff. So I called them, and I'm trying to see what I need to do. She's saying about getting some antibiotic. She said, I wish you had some antibiotic. I said, I do. I said, I got some for what they gave me for my tooth. I said, it got M34 on it. She said, okay, that'll work. That's amoxicillin because we looked it up on Google. She said that'll work. So, boom. So she told me to give Poochie a half capsule. I give Poochie a half capsule, y'all. Poochie started shaking uncontrollably. She told me to send her a video, email her a video. I need to email her a video. She said it looked like a seizure. She said she don't know why that would have made that happen, but I said, but things gonna happen to you. You told me to do this. But anyway, she told me a couple other things to do. Take a hot rag, like with some warm water, and press it against the breast and see if, that'll bring the swelling down. I tried that. That wasn't doing nothing. So I just finally got to the point where I'm going to bring Poochie to the vet. Hell with all these remedies they're trying to get me to do. I still had some of the medicine that they gave me for. I gave her some this morning. They said it's a pain relief and it's supposed to bring the temperature down. So I don't know what's going on with Poochie. So now let me tell y'all what they trying to get me to do. They trying to get me to get some blood work. I'm gonna do it. So she said the second route is she could give me some antibiotics. There's 2 antibiotics. She said when I get these antibiotics, I can absolutely not let Poochie feed these puppies. That sucks. So now I gotta hand feed the puppies. So yeah, that's the thing. That's what I got going on. I gotta hand feed the puppies. This shit finna be rough and stuff, Yeah. So I'm trying to see what's up with Poochie and get this stuff situated. So I'm at the vet, just giving you guys an update of what's going on. It sucks. But yeah, we here. I'm gonna keep y'all updated, and we're gonna go from there, you guys. I hope you all are having a good day. I hope everything all well. Good morning. Where you been? I've been working and stuff. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Hood. It's okay. I'm at work, not ignoring you. It's okay, Miss Pickles. How you doing? You ain't got no money on now. Let me hold something there for you. Hey, Hood. Family poor Poochie. That's painful to get cabbage leaf. Does help draw the milk. Yeah, I'm gonna get some when I leave here. He said you looking real broke right now. Looks can be deceiving, playboy. You hear me? Looks can be deceiving, playboy. This the way they affect infection. Yeah, they saying it was an infection. I'm like, do y'all think the infection could have came from the C-section? She said it very could have much have. I'm thinking like to myself, ain't that something on y'all's behalf? You know what I'm saying? But shit, who knows? Ignore the negative people. Oh, I don't be worried about that, boy. It's not kill snails, not players. You hear me? I ain't worried about that. You hear me? That little boy shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about that. Good morning, Miss Princess. How you doing? So, yeah, that's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. We in here. How long will it take before it clears up? I'm not sure. I'm gonna get some more info on it when I leave here. I'm gonna get some more info on it. Yeah. Damn, I hope Poochie good. Shit, me too, man. Negativity is still a view. That's right, Miss Jewel. Hold on. Oh, I thought they was gonna come in here. I thought the door was opening. But yeah, that's what we got going on. Look, I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna keep y'all updated. I'm gonna be back with y'all. I hope y'all have a good day. You hear me?